Hello, hello, and welcome once again to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, 30-year veteran writer, illustrator, and editor of comic, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. And this is our question and answers multi-pack edition. But before we get into the questions, I want to make a quick shout out. Recently, we lost one of our stalwart fellow comic professionals in Drew Ford, the publisher for It's Alive Press. He passed away last week due to complications of pneumonia related to COVID. And that kind of hits the industry a little bit hard. We've had several books that I regularly review, including Holler by Jeremy Massey and Strange Attractors by Mark Cohen. Terry Sue Wood's Wandering Star was collected and re-released in trade edition through that publisher. And of course, Nick Cagnetti of Pink Lemonade originally launched through that company as well. So we want to wish Kiki, Drew's wife, all our best wishes. And also, in point of fact, she has a GoFundMe because obviously when you have those kind of hospital bills and stuff, it's going to be beyond what most people can afford. So this is the GoFundMe. I'd really appreciate it if you'd go ahead and check that out. They've raised about a little over $21,000 for it, but they're looking for about $50,000 to pay medical bills and funeral costs, and to hopefully give Kiki a little bit of a nest egg to get started, and because the company, of course, is going to be shut down, and all the books are creator-owned at It's Alive, and I believe they're going to be returned to their rightful creator owners. So it's kind of a sad situation, and again, we feel sorry for the loss of Drew, and we wish Kiki all the best. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our questions of the week. Our first question. I know this is going to be one of those questions you hate because it comes from a Perch video. Sorry. But here goes. How come comics creators don't spend more time on social media or YouTube or other methods to reach out to, interact with their fans? If Perch can make videos while driving in his car daily, why can't artists do a video once a week of them drawing and talking about what they're working on and the like? This was not the question from the person itself, CBP fan, Comic Book Perch fan. This is a question that was asked on the video by some other person to Perch. Yeah. Simply put, we've got plenty of people who do exactly that. They are reaching out. That's what all of our social media is, as far as crowdfunding campaigns and videos. There's thousands of us doing it. I don't know what the person asking the question is trying to get at. The other thing is, a lot of us don't do it, or we do it, but we're not getting the interaction with the fans as it is. I just did a live draw video a couple weeks ago, and one of the workers at my comic shop the week after said, "Hey, I watched your video last week, but I couldn't really tell what you were drawing because of the camera angle, and I didn't know the character." And I'm like, "Well, why didn't you tell me in the chat room then, so I could have changed things?" "Oh, I don't speak." I don't ever post anything in chat. So it's like, "Oh, gee, thanks." Mark Andrew Smith is in the house. My internet has been acting up. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you'll be able to stick around for a while. But yeah, it was kind of a silly question, like PCB expected, or waving. But yeah, I don't understand that question at all. There's plenty of that out there if you really want to find artists and writers to talk to about stuff. Now, if you're expecting us to give you the download of what we're working on and tell you exactly what we're working on, how we're working on it, that usually doesn't happen. There are a few people who do, like Gary Shipman. He does do his Titan Mouse of Might stuff page by page and talks about what he's doing as he's drawing it. And I can be perfectly honest with you, I don't see where it's helping him sell books. He's got 650 subscribers, and his most recent campaign only has 131 or 135 or something like that backers. And we'll talk about that later at 2:00. But that's I don't know what the person who was asking that question of Perch was really trying to drive at. So that's all I can really say about that. Next question. Mark from New Hampshire asks, "Howdy, Raven. Read on Facebook you just had surgery, so I presume that is why you haven't been on YouTube lately. Hope all is well." Yes, I just had surgery on Wednesday. Had some skin tags removed. Get them checked to make sure you're not cancerous, stuff like that. That's part of why I wasn't online. Also, Hurricane Ian and the weather down here in the south kind of made me pause and not do some videos as well. So anyway, his question is, Brian Hibbs recently had another fan-splaining post about distribution and operating cost retailers and why he's angry with Diamond and Lunar, talking about the discount levels he gets and stuff. Is he for real? Are his numbers legit? If so, how does any comics retailer make any money at this? And how is the business even functioning today if what he is saying is actually true? Well, the fact is that what Brian says is true. His numbers are correct for his store. Now, that's not necessarily the case for every retailer because everybody's costs are a little bit different based on where your location is in direct to the warehouses where it's being shipped from to your store. People that are closer by to the warehouse that are within driving distance often go and drive and pick up their books and then take them to the store rather than have them shipped to save money. So there's other factors there. But as far as what he is presenting, yes, it is factual. And if you want to know why he's complaining, there's a lot of problem. And Diamond has had this problem for a long time, and that is creating an unfair advantage for Marvel and DC and a couple of other people, or publishers rather, who have a higher discount level if you order a certain dollar amount. And now that Lunar and Random House are there, those discounts mean you got to buy even more books from more different distributors and pay more shipping and handling if you want that same discount level. Plus, you're not spending as much money at Diamond, so your overall discount isn't there like it used to be. So it's making it much more difficult in that sense. Now, the answer to that problem, of course, is for Steve Jobs to pull his head out of his ass and make everything that's left at Diamond the same level of discount and make it comparable to Marvel and DC so that retailers can decide that if they want to support indie comics instead of buying a bunch of ridiculous redundant Marvel or DC titles trying to, hook readers into a character brand or something, they can do that and make enough profit to warrant making that decision. Right now, we don't have that, and that's the biggest problem, I think, in distribution right now. And when you think about it, that's part of what Comicsgate is about. That's part of what the explosion of digital comics, print on demand, and crowdfunding as a whole is about, is trying to get that content that Diamond isn't carrying and Lunar isn't carrying to you fans, because retailers don't want to order it because they're not making any profit on it. And, I don't know. It's not really helping anybody in that regard, because a lot of the crowdfunding we had to charge an extra bunch of money and pay shipping and handling to get, which is why you see these books that are really good, that if they were properly marketed and distributed through Diamond and through retail stores, would probably sell 20, 30,000 units. You're only selling, maybe 1,500 to 2,000 through a crowdfunding campaign, but the books are $25 instead of $4 or $3 or whatever. That's kind of what's happening there. So, but yeah, what Brian's saying is pretty much accurate there, unfortunately. And, but I think that he and the rest of the retailers brought that upon themselves years ago when they didn't support the variety of people who tried to rebuild the distribution market in the 90s and early 2000s and stuck with Diamond. So it's kind of a, six of one, half a dozen of another on his complaining as far as that's concerned. Okay, next question is from Debbie in Michigan. Hi, Raven. Have you been watching any more episodes of the new Quantum Leap series on NBC Peacock? I know you saw the first episode, but you haven't talked about subsequent episodes. I missed the second one with the space shuttle. I don't remember why I missed it. I think I just forgot, or maybe I slept through it. I think I slept through it. That's what happened. But I did watch it this week. It was okay. With the boxing, the boxer and his brother who had PTSD from Vietnam or whatever. And it was okay. It's pretty standard Quantum Leap storytelling. I have no problem with that. The sub-story of Al's daughter being weird and stealing old equipment from the Leap program, the original Leap program, and making her own Leap platform and stuff like that is a little bit weird, but we're in the third episode. Let's see where it goes. Basically, is kind of my view on it. Okay, next question. Multiple parties asked me if I'm going to participate in Inktober competitions this year or not. We're on the 7th. I haven't drawn. Take a hint. I'll draw something this month, but I don't want to do the daily sketching this month. This thing after I'm still kind of recovering from the underarm surgery and stuff, and there's a little bit of tightness underneath there, and from the skin cuts and stuff. So I'm not entirely comfortable with drawing right now. But probably if I feel better this weekend or early next week, I'll get back into drawing. Anonymous asks, this might be a little old of a topic, but what did you think of the black actress who was cast to play Death in the Sandman TV show on Netflix? Were you offended? I didn't see it. I don't know who was cast, and I was not offended. Part of the reason I'm not offended is, even though a lot of people think that, she's a white person for some reason, I don't know if you guys remember an old poster from around 93 that Chris Bacalo did of Death that DC released. I had that poster, and it was hanging up on my door in my college apartment. And my father came to visit, and he saw the poster, And he said, I didn't know you were a fan of Janet Jackson. Well, Janet Jackson's black, isn't she? Mm-hmm. So if he saw Death and thought it looked like Janet Jackson, I guess there's no reason why we can't assume that it can't be a black actress playing the character. Now, can we? that's kind of how I look at that. So yeah, I'm not offended by the casting, and I haven't seen the show. I'm sure it's fine. I don't really watch a lot of these pay channels. I don't have subscriptions to those, so I don't get to see a lot of that stuff. But maybe someday I'll get to watch it, and we'll see. Mm-hmm. And that's all of our questions for today, believe it or not. So if you have questions, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is the place to reach out to me at, subject QTR Q&A. Be sure to let me know if you want your name and location listed or not. If you don't, I usually put anonymous. But no problem there, one way or the other. Now, for the rest of the day, we'll be back at 2 p.m. to do our mega show. We're going to be reviewing a lot of books and doing some crowdfunding discussion as well. We got 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about. Probably around 15 or 16 different titles we'll be reviewing. And we will also have 6 or 7 crowdfunding campaigns we'll be discussing, including some of the stuff going back to some of the stuff with Drew and It's Alive and the different creators of stuff. That because we'll have at least 2 of those. We'll be talking about Terry Sugwood and Nick Cagnetti, current projects. And then again at 8 p.m. this evening, we'll have movie night. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have movie night, and we'll be talking about the classic 1966 Toho Productions kaiju film War of the Gargantuans. And that's all for now. So if I appreciate you, as always, for watching. If you like this episode or you think others might, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get content from my channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support. If you want to reach out to me on social media, Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, Twitter at LewisBrightRaven2. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube. Again, if you have questions, comments, suggestions for topics, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is the address to reach me at. If I don't get back to you in a day or two, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. That's all for now, folks. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Mega Show. Until then, have a great day and a great weekend.